Steve, roller coaster of a week, but this is the time of year, I guess, when you're learning a lot about your players still.
Yeah, I mean, not anything, bad. So yeah, you're always learning about them, and they're always learning about you. So yeah, I think it's what happens over a period of a season anyway. It just happens in a week when you have 3 games, if you know what I mean. So yeah, you got to take the good with the bad, haven't you? It's part and parcel of the game. That's the sport.
Before the season started, you said you were interested to see what the levels will be like in this league. Only 3 games in, but you're getting a feel. What's your overriding feeling at the moment?
Yeah, different. That's where we are. I think Barnet were really good the other night. I think their home form, as I said before, has been really, really good, and they've been at the level now for a little while. So, I think that they've done really, really well. And then we've had Boston, who have just been promoted, so they've had success in the camp, which is good for them. Aldershot have already had a strong season at home last year as well. So obviously the common denominator there is playing away from home. But yeah, like I said, you can see what's gone on behind me, and there's a lot of work that's gone on at the football club this year in the summer, and we've just got to suffer that period of that 6 out of 7 games away from home and 9 out of 14, I think it is. So we know the start was always going to be tough and demanding, because you can't underestimate the travel. And that's why we're always thankful, and we go over and see our supporters after the game, and just give them a round of applause for coming along and watching us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, there was a decent turnout on Tuesday night as well, wasn't there? For the middle of the holidays, that they got to Barnet.
Yeah, look, we're not a huge football club where we're going to have thousands, but we're very, very appreciative of those people that come and watch us.
And when you look at those levels, for those lads that were with you last year, how does it compare to League Two? Is there a sizable difference or not much, do you think?
Well, you've only got to look at Bromley's start in League Two, so that probably tells you that the National League is stronger than what people's perception of it would be. But as I said before, we wouldn't go into that with any shape or form of arrogance that we've come out of the league. We've come out of the league for a reason. So we've been very humble wherever we've gone. We'll continue to do that, whether the results are good or bad. But when you go to some of these places and you see, I don't know, how organised, and we've been to Boston and Barnet in the last 4 days or so, and their grounds and everything else, it's immaculate, So and Aldershot was tidy and well kept and whatever like that. So these clubs are on the up, and good luck to them. They've certainly made a good fist of it.
Quite a difference from your time in the conference with Cheltenham. It was a number of years ago, but it just shows where this level of football's changed.
Well, what's happened is, when we won it with Cheltenham, we were part-time. We were a part-time team. We were second in the first year, and we won it in the second year. Won the trophy in the first year, but that was a long time ago. But we were a part-time team. There was quite a few full-time teams in there at the time, but we were a part-time team. But it just goes to show now, I think, nearly everybody in the division will be full-time now. I think there may be a couple, but I don't want to name them in case I get it wrong and it comes across as being disrespectful. But for those who are part-time in the table, they'll still make it very difficult for you.
Do you get the feeling as well that Forest Green Rovers is a scalp they want, having come out of the Football League, particularly their supporters want to beat you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably at the moment, but that will be the same for Sutton as well. So, we have to live up to those expectations and do as well as we possibly can in it. So yeah, as I said before, you have to be humble in the moments.
Sadly, you've lost Sean Long now to suspension. Does that accelerate your kind of looking at what's available in the market at the moment, or is that just continuing as normal?
No, it will continue as normal. We're not all of a sudden going to go out and sign a right back today because Sean Long got sent off for something he shouldn't have been sent off for the other night. It was never a sending off. I mean, it was was ridiculous, really. To get sent off for something so innocuous. But when it say accelerate your time looking in the market, you're always looking in the market. I've made this clear quite a few times that what I'm not going to do is sign anyone for the sake of signing anyone. When you look at us at the moment, we're a bit thin, we're a bit bare, but we can still put a team out there. And what I'm not going to do is go down the route of what's happened here in the past and sign in anyone and everyone who's available, because all of a sudden, you can have a team photo where it looks fantastic when everybody's in there, but you've got to make sure that you've got enough players for Saturday. We're not going to do that for the sake of doing it, because it's just wasting money.
Yeah. Is your phone busy now? Because I guess this is the time of the year when a few players are starting to realise they're not in the manager's plans as they hope they might be, and they've got agents trying to find moves. Is it suddenly got hotter?
No, but if you phone me, you probably won't get through because it will be engaged. So I don't think my phone ever stops ringing, if I'm brutally honest. But that's part and parcel of the job, if you know what I mean. So, but there'll be many times in the car where, I won't get time to listen to the radio and the latest tunes or something like that, because it'll be catching up on phone calls. Already there's a bucket load of them this morning that I need to get back to. So that always happens. So I wouldn't say my phone's any different, really.
I guess you've got a bit of time again on your final away trip for now to Rochdale. Last chance, I guess, for the supporters to get on the road before they come to see you here at the new lawn and this wonderful pitch. We'll talk a bit about it at the moment, but yeah. It has been a really tough start. It's not just away games, but they've been long away games, haven't they? Yeah,
and they've been against good teams as well with good records. So the other night we go to Barnet's first home game of the season, not ideal. We go to Boston for their first game in this league, not ideal. We go to Aldershot, who had a good home record in this league last year, not ideal. And then we go to Rochdale just for good measure. So, there's no easy games anyway. So it is what it is, and we just have to deal with it. We'll always stay in a nice hotel. We have a lovely bus that we travel up on. So, things could be a lot worse, couldn't they? But the players get very well looked after at this football club. And they certainly don't penny pinch on anything. And we do the best we can. We know that we've got a glut of games away from home. It's not ideal when you have them back to back, because the travelling will obviously take its toll. And, even when you've had a 2-week holiday, everybody comes back off holiday, don't they? And where they've done a fair bit of travelling or whatever like that, and, waited around and transfers and everything else, they come home and then they're really, really tired, and they think we're going on holiday to get over the holiday. So it's a little bit like that. But it is what it is. There's no point in making a big issue about it.
And if you can get 3 points at the weekend, 7 points from the first 4 games, all of them away, that's a decent start for anybody.
Yeah, no, it'll be first class. As you've just said there, it's a lot easier to say than it is to do, by the way. But yeah, look, if we can do that, that's what we'll do. We know at the moment we can play better than we've played in those 3 games as well. I think, as I said early on, and I don't mean this disrespectful to any of our opposition in pre-season, but we didn't really have the level of opposition we would have liked. However, we're very, very thankful to those local sides around that hosted us. By that, we will have a more difficult pre-season next year, but we will still remember those local sides that accommodated us when we needed them.
And next up is Rochdale, a side themselves who were in your position last season, coming down and looking to rebuild. What have you made of them this year?
Good team. Yeah, good team. I've watched a first half of their game. The second one will be this afternoon, just because I watched our game back yesterday against Barnet, so that took a little bit of editing yesterday. and this morning I've managed to watch the first half of the game, and then obviously training and meeting with the players. So I'll get to watch the rest of that later on this afternoon, and then finally prepare and then travel again tomorrow.
And Jimmy McNulty, someone I guess you've come across a few times over the years.
I haven't come across him as a manager. I know that I would have managed a team that would have played against him when Jimmy played. Really good footballer, good guy. Friends with Aaron Wilbraham, who's obviously been one of my players, who's an agent now and is a good guy. So, yeah, if Aaron says he's a good guy, the chances are he's a good guy.
And he's got some experience in there in Ian Henderson. He's got in the ranks as well. It's a bit like you. Is that mix of experience and youth?
I think that obviously Henderson, I think he's just signed for them. I don't think he signed early on, but he's just gone back there. But has been a great goal scorer over the years and done really, really well at Rochdale. Ethan Ebanks Lendl, who played under me at Shrewsbury, another good player for them. So yeah, we know a few of their players.